Picture a brain made of silicon and wires, an intricate network of connections, pulsing with energy and information. This is the essence of an AI chip, a marvel of modern engineering that mimics the way our own brains process data, but at speeds and scales that are almost unimaginable. AI chips are specialized processors, built to handle the massive workloads required by artificial intelligence. Unlike traditional CPUs, which process tasks one after another, these chips are designed to perform millions of calculations at the same time, making them the backbone of today's most advanced AI systems. Nvidia's AI chips, especially their GPUs, have become the gold standard in the industry. They're not just faster, they're smarter, optimized for the complex math that powers deep learning, neural networks, and machine intelligence. At the forefront is the H200 chip, one of the most powerful AI processors ever built. It's the engine behind breakthroughs in language models like ChatGPT, the brains of self-driving cars, and the analytical muscle in drug discovery and climate modeling. For tech companies, having thousands of these chips means unlocking supercomputer-level power. This accelerates AI development at a pace never seen before, enabling innovations that were once science fiction to become reality. These chips are the engines that drive the training of massive neural networks, allowing AI to learn from vast amounts of data, images, text, even real-world sensor input at lightning speed. But their impact goes far beyond commercial tech. Nvidia's AI chips are vital for scientific research, helping scientists simulate complex systems, analyze genetic data, and even predict natural disasters. In national security and military innovation, they're used for everything from intelligence analysis to autonomous defense systems. A nation with more advanced AI chips can gain a strategic edge in defense and intelligence, using faster, smarter systems to interpret satellite imagery, monitor threats, and make split-second decisions. That's why the H200 is more than just a piece of hardware. It's a symbol of technological power, a key asset in the race for global influence, and a critical resource in the competition between nations. The global supply of these chips has become a major point of geopolitical tension. Countries are racing to secure access, knowing that whoever controls the flow of AI chips can shape the future of technology, security, and even the global economy. Nvidia, as the leading designer and innovator, finds itself at the very center of this global struggle, balancing business interests with the demands of governments and the realities of international politics. Who gets to buy these chips is no longer just a business decision. It's a matter of international security, shaping the balance of power for years to come. The U.S. government is now weighing a new approach that could allow companies like Nvidia to sell their advanced H200 AI chips to a select group of Chinese customers. This move comes after months of intense debate over how to balance national security with the economic interests of American tech firms. The plan is designed to maintain U.S. leadership in the global semiconductor industry while also addressing concerns about sensitive technology falling into the wrong hands. This marks a significant shift from the previous outright ban on high-end chip sales to China. Instead of a blanket restriction, the U.S. is introducing a system of tightly controlled sales, managed through a rigorous licensing process. Each transaction would be carefully scrutinized, with strict oversight to ensure compliance with U.S. regulations. Only approved commercial customers in China would be eligible to purchase these chips. Every sale would require review and sign-off from multiple U.S. agencies, including the Commerce, State, Energy, and Defense Departments. This multi-agency review is intended to prevent any technology from being diverted to military or other sensitive uses. The primary goal is clear: ensure that these powerful chips are used strictly for legitimate business applications, not for advancing China's military capabilities or surveillance programs. Another key feature of the plan is a substantial 25% tax on all sales revenue generated from China, a sharp increase from the previous 15%. This tax is designed not only to generate additional revenue for the U.S. government, but also to act as a deterrent, making these chips significantly more expensive for Chinese buyers. By raising the cost, the U.S. hopes to slow the pace of China's AI development and expansion, while still allowing American companies to benefit from access to the lucrative Chinese market. This approach aims to strike a delicate balance between economic opportunity and strategic caution. The plan reflects a complex balancing act, protecting U.S. security interests and technological edge, while supporting the continued growth and competitiveness of American tech giants in the global marketplace. Unsurprisingly, the outcome of this strategy is the subject of heated debate in Washington and among industry leaders. Some argue it's too risky, while others see it as a pragmatic compromise. The stakes are enormous. At the heart of the issue is the future of economic leadership, technological innovation, and national security in a rapidly changing world. Supporters argue that controlled chip sales to China are a strategic win for the U.S. They say a total ban would only push China to develop its own chips faster, costing U.S. firms revenue and global influence. By selling under strict licenses, American companies stay ahead, fund innovation, and create jobs at home. Controlled sales also allow the U.S. to monitor where chips go, unlike a black market. The 25% fee brings billions to the U.S. Treasury and slows China's acquisition rate. The strategy: keep China dependent on U.S. tech a bit longer, using profits to widen America's lead. It's a calculated move to maintain oversight and economic advantage. Critics warn that selling advanced AI chips to China is a dangerous risk, one that could have far-reaching consequences for global security and technological leadership. As the world becomes increasingly reliant on artificial intelligence, the stakes of who controls the most advanced chips have never been higher. These chips are not just tools for innovation, they are the backbone of next-generation military and surveillance systems. They argue there's no way to guarantee these chips won't end up in the hands of the Chinese military, despite any export controls or assurances from buyers. Once the chips cross borders, tracking their final destination becomes nearly impossible, raising fears that they could be repurposed for military use or integrated into sensitive defense projects. In China, the line between private companies and the state is blurry, raising the risk of technology transfer. Many Chinese tech giants have close ties to the government, and laws require them to cooperate with state authorities if asked. This makes it difficult to separate commercial innovation from state-driven military ambitions. The H200 could triple China's AI computing power, closing the gap with the U.S. and boosting military AI programs. With access to such powerful hardware, China could accelerate its research in autonomous weapons, surveillance, and cyber warfare, potentially shifting the balance of power in the region and beyond. Senator Elizabeth Warren and others say short-term profits aren't worth the long-term strategic threat. They argue that American companies must consider the broader implications of their sales, not just immediate financial gains, especially when national security is at stake. U.S.-designed chips are already used in China's military AI. Making it easier to get more powerful ones is reckless. The fear is that each new generation of chips could make China's military smarter, faster, and more autonomous, eroding the U.S.'s technological edge. Critics see this as aiding China's goal to lead in AI and modernize its military by 2030. They warn that the U.S. could inadvertently be helping to build the very systems that might one day challenge its own security and global influence. For them, the risk to U.S. security far outweighs any economic benefit. They believe that protecting national interests and maintaining a technological advantage should come before corporate profits or market expansion. As a result, they call for a strict ban on advanced chip exports to China, hoping to slow China's military advancement and preserve U.S. leadership in critical technologies for years to come. At the heart of this debate are key players shaping the outcome. President Trump's administration is pushing for controlled sales, using economic tools like the 25% fee as leverage. Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang argues that a ban hurts U.S. interests more than China's, lobbying for a pragmatic approach. On the other side, Senator Elizabeth Warren fiercely opposes the plan, accusing the administration of putting profits over security. She's called for congressional hearings, representing a coalition prioritizing national security. These leaders embody the clash between economic ambition and security caution. Their decisions will shape the future of U.S.-China tech relations. China's response to the possible easing of the chip ban is cautious and strategic. Chinese tech firms want Nvidia's H200 chips to boost their capabilities, but Beijing is wary of U.S. motives. China's long-term goal is technological self-sufficiency, investing heavily in its own semiconductor industry. Beijing has even ordered tech giants to use domestic chips over Nvidia's downgraded models. Some Chinese analysts see the U.S. offer as a tactical move, not a genuine shift. They suspect the U.S. is buying time to secure its own supply chains before tightening restrictions again. Regardless, China will keep pushing to develop its own advanced chips. The H200 may be a shortcut, but true independence is the ultimate prize. For China, Mastering chip design is about securing its future. The US-China chip dispute is part of a long escalating tech rivalry. Tensions rose as the US imposed bans to slow China's progress in AI and military tech. Nvidia responded by making downgraded chips for China to comply with restrictions. In July 2025, the Trump administration surprised many by proposing to lift the ban, adding a 15% fee. By December, the plan evolved. The H200 chip could be sold under review, and the fee jumped to 25%. This marked a shift from strict denial to controlled taxed access. Critics, led by Senator Warren, quickly condemned the move as a security risk. Her Senate speech brought national attention to the issue. These milestones show how fast and fiercely U.S. policy on tech competition is changing. The story is still unfolding, with global implications. The 25% fee on H200 sales to China is a lightning rod for controversy. Supporters call it a smart way to share profits with the public and fund U.S. innovation. It also makes the chips pricier for China, potentially limiting their purchases. Critics fear the government could become addicted to the revenue, risking security for income. Senator Warren accuses Nvidia's CEO of using political connections to sway policy. The debate has sparked bipartisan opposition and calls for congressional investigation. This isn't just about economics. It's about the influence of money and lobbying on national security. The administration now faces mounting pressure from all sides. The U.S. stands at a crossroads. Should it sell advanced AI chips to China, or hold the line? Supporters see controlled sales as a way to fund innovation and keep oversight. Opponents warn the risks to national security are too great, no matter the profit. The final decision by U.S. agencies will ripple across the globe, shaping the future of tech and power. If approved, it could mean a new era of managed competition. If blocked, deeper division and faster Chinese self-sufficiency. Both U.S. and Chinese companies are watching closely. The H200 chip saga forces us to ask, how do we balance prosperity and security in a connected world? The answer will define the next chapter of global technology.